It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And coming up in just a bit, tip-off will be live from New Orleans as the Pelicans go up against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, a pretty equal matchup tonight. They're hoping to grab a road win, a yardstick game as they try to reach that next level. Well, it's rare these days to see a big man like Anthony Davis who can explode on the offensive end the way he can. What makes him so potent, Kenny?
Inside, outside, Ernie. You
Yep.
know, he can get it inside, he can get it outside. He's impossible to guard. And 50-point nights. I'm telling you, 50. 5-0. All possibility.
And what I like, he gets all the touches he wants on the floor. Way to feed the big man Pelicans.
That's the same thing you use for the Hawks.
It's still a bird, though, right? Thank you.
Horrible. Kevin Harlan, it's all yours.
New Orleans, land of the Pelicans, in a fine Western Conference battle at the New Orleans Arena. Kevin Harlan here along with analysts Greg Anthony and Steve Smith, and we'll be hearing from D.A. along the sideline all game long. The Jazz in the midst of a road trip going into this one. They've put it all together over the course of their last 7 games. They've only had one loss over that span.
And so far, they've split the season series right down the middle. Now the drama starts to ramp up. Only got 2 games left against them. Can they take the advantage?
It will be a fun matchup to watch. Both teams will be clawing for this win. It will be thrilling to see how this one develops.
The starters for the Utah Jazz. Ingles at small forward with Favors at the 4. Ricky Rubio is out there with Mitchell. And it's Gobert in at the 5 spot. Well, both sides in this game have incredible talents in the front court. You get the feeling, Steve, that they'll be going back and forth all night long.
When you have versatile guys in the front court, they can take over the basketball game because no matter what, rebounding is a premium. And then you have these guys that can score, dribble, and pass. From the front court, if you have a talented big guy, he can impact the game, I think, even more than a guard.
Yeah, I agree. Good on the shot. Gobert's got his first points of the night.
He's not a focal point for the defense, but you can't let Gobert get the ball that deep.
And Moore kicks to Davis. Over Gobert. And Davis can't get it to go. The Jazz on offense. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
I tell you what, how efficient they were at scoring the basketball, especially for an away game, that was impressive.
They did a good job of controlling the tempo, playing at a speed that suits their offense.
Rubio misses. Rondo kicks to Davis. Over Mitchell. That doesn't go either for Davis.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Rubio the pass to Mitchell and favors kicks to Ingles. Here's Gobert. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Gobert bouncing off defenders, took a ton of contact and still scored.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Jazz coach Quinn Snyder bounced around as an NBA assistant coach 4 different teams, never staying more than a year. He got his education working under so many great coaches.
And Coach Snyder said that his experience as an assistant coach helped to erase some coaching blind spots.
Well, you take something, Kevin, from every experience, every stop.
Take a break.
He's been prepared to become an NBA coach. Over 2 decades on the bench before taking over the Jazz job.
The first one falls.
Nikola Mirotic, a versatile big man and a good shooter. Very skilled for a player of his size.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
That's a huge advantage, having a big guy who can shoot free throws like this.
Ingles with the screen for Rubio. He feeds it to Ingles. Gobert the screen. The dish to Favors. Over Davis. Here's Gobert. Great D that time from Davis.
No hesitation. He took it right to the rack. But a quick reaction by the defense.
Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that.
If there's a list of the best inside scorers in the NBA, Davis has got to be right at the top. When he gets his hands on the ball down low, you might as well just count it.
Now, here's Ingles. He had 10 points in the win against the Spurs in San Antonio.
I mean, Rudy Gobert, a 7-2 shot blocker out of France. He's emerged as the starting center in Utah, a defensive dynamo.
It's his first trip to the line.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
He's off on the first. And Rudy Gobert with a 7'9 wingspan, arm span, and a 9'7 standing reach. Steve, those are the longest measurements ever recorded at the NBA Combine.
Wow, and also surprisingly, he's light on his feet. The combination of length and mobility, it makes him a terror on defense and a dangerous role man offensively. Well, Rudy Gobert drafted the 27th pick in the 2013 draft. The Jazz looked at him as just a project, but his development has been rapid.
Here's Rubio, following the basket by Anthony Davis. And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, it's stolen by Davis. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for Utah.
And they really based almost their entire offense around the three-point shot. Spread the floor, space the defense, and if the deep shots aren't falling, at least it should open things up inside.
Rondo on the double team, and it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. And Gobert may be the most impactful defender in the NBA. Steve, do you think he has a chance to become the best international player in this league?
You know, I think if his offense can catch up with his defense, he's transformed the Jazz into one of the elite defensive teams in the NBA. So, yes, I think he has a chance. It all depends on his offense.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Quinn Snyder and I got a chance to talk for a bit. Been a pretty even matchup this season with each team winning one game. So what's the key tonight as they try to take the advantage? He said in a word, defense. They can score with anybody, and we can score too, but we can't get into a shootout with these guys. We have to slow it down and make this a slugfest. We'll see if that strategy pays off tonight with a win. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, nice work. Holding this offense in check will not be a simple job today.
Especially if they're allowed to get off to a quick start. If they get into a rhythm right away, it's almost impossible to get them out of it.
This team, they like to attack quickly before the defense gets set. So you have to be ready for that and be fast to get back on every possession.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with two hands on that stuff. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Rubio with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Ingles can't get it to go.
And that's the shot he wants. Just a little bit out of rhythm.
And Davis throws it down.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. And the foul called on Anthony Davis. That is his first foul of the game. Rondo against Rubio. Rondo on the double team. Tipped away. It's stolen by Davis. And here's the fast break. Davis leading the way and finished off by Davis.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Now, here's Rubio. He had 34 points in the win against San Antonio.
And he showed again why he is such a sensational playmaker. Some of the plays he made were just remarkable.
Here's Gobert. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Gobert's got 8 points.
Crossing up the defense, and that's what you expect from Rubio. Terrific vision.
Jazz trail by 6. Here's Mitchell. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Dishes it to Rubio. Poked loose. It's stolen by Davis. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Oh, terrific pick. Then kicks it right ahead, turning defense into offense.
And on the other side, that's an annoying miscue. Total lack of focus.
And Gobert kicks to Ingles. That's tipped, and it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here.
Looking at the numbers for Gobert, his last 10 games have been exceptional. He's putting up 13 points a game, 10 rebounds. What incredible numbers. He has been a beast.
You know what? Everything is coming so easy for him right now, operating on the highest level.
And up the floor again for New Orleans, running the court.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
It's early, but they have taken full control of this game, and the fans here, they know it. You know, the Jazz, one of the best run franchises in basketball. They operate in a small market, but still one of the top 6 winningest organization in NBA history.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah. And Steve, talking about the Jazz in Salt Lake City trying to hold on to big name players. They lose all-star Gordon Hayward this past summer. And then you might recall Dominique Wilkins, who was drafted by the Jazz. He didn't want to play there.
Well, you know, the good news is you can focus on basketball, not too many distractions. And it's a beautiful city, safe with loyal fans and a chance to win.
The Jazz making a switch here. Hood's checked in. Let's pop over to our 2K leaderboard to see which power forwards and centers have had the most productive last month offensive. Anthony Davis, number 1. 4th, DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, there are different styles among those big men, but they have one thing very much in common. They can dominate offensively. Face up or back to the basket, they can get it done.
The other thing they have in common is that killer instinct. Every one of these guys wants the ball down low. They want to be the number 1 option on every trip down the court.
Here's Mitchell, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Gobert lays it up off the glass. Gobert's got 10 points.
Unselfish play by Hood. Could take it himself, but finds the open man.
And really focused on establishing dominance down low. And, guys, it's working.
They have played physical. They have owned the paint. And they have built up a decent lead here in the first.
Moore dishes to Rondo. The rebound by the Jazz.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard. And on the defensive side, just a failure to match up.
Well, the one thing you want to take away is anything at the rim. Just too easy.
Jazz trail by 12. Here's Mitchell. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. New Orleans making some changes here. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Mirotic. Miller comes in for Ejuan Moore. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. And Utah also making a switch. Johnson's checked in. Here's Holiday. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Ricky Rubio picks one up.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
Two shots.
No good on that one. Smitty's still the most electrifying play in the game, the slam dunk. For your money, who are the more phenomenal dunkers right now in the league?
Zach LaVine is at top of my list.
High flyer, you're right.
LeBron James, Aaron Gordon, those guys.
Antetokounmpo.
Yes. I mean, you talk about guys that are trying stuff that guys don't try in games. Those guys, Russell Westbrook, love to see more of these guys in the dunk contest. But Zach LaVine right now is the top of my list.
He is. Here's your Rebko. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. They double-team Johnson. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson.
And how about the numbers here for Drew Holiday? He's been dominant over the last month. 12th in steals. And his playmaking ability, unquestioned, one of the top 15 assist men in our league.
As we've seen, he's a difficult defender to bring the ball up against. Quick feet, quick hands, always looking to force a mistake. And they will call over the back on the play.
Yeah, but at least he's getting after it on the backboard, but got a little carried away on that one.
When you're assertive, when you're being physical, good things tend to happen, except for the foul calls.
Burks with it. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. They get a hand on it. Clock at 6. And Gobert kicks to Hood. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And, you know, this can happen on the road. You're out defending guys who have just gotten into a comfort zone playing at home.
Well, you have to have an aggressive mindset, and you have to try to disrupt their rhythm.
Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots, we knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. Two Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Now here's Hood. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson draws the double. He dishes it to Burks. Puts up a three. Miller grabs the miss. New Orleans leading by 15. And here's the fast break. Look at that.
Nice.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Do they start to coast, or do they go right for the juggler?
And the Jazz call time here. Last time they met was in Utah.
Yeah, and their last time playing against this club, they fell short. A lot of cheap fouls really plagued their starting unit.
Hopefully they exercise better caution in this game and avoid cheap fouls that could get them in trouble again.
And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
Take a second here to take a look at the shot chart for New Orleans.
And every time he's pulled up from deep and let it fly, it's found a way to catch iron. Not sure if it is something with his release or the defense is bothering him on his threes, but I would expect him to attack the rim a bit just to kind of mix things up.
Burks, the pass to Urepko. Here's Gobert. Basket is good, the assist from Johnson. And 12 points for Rudy Gobert. Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
So here's Burks, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Outside Hood. Nice ball movement by Utah. They double-team Johnson. Pass to Burks from past the arc. It's Clark with the rebound. Pelicans leading by 17. Anthony Davis again. Davis has got 26 points.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Showing no mercy. Double-digit lead and still putting it on them.
Only one miss in his first 8 attempts, coming out of the gate strong.
The Jazz have not yet made a free throw in the game, 0 of 2 so far.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
One shot.
A free throw drops for Gobert. And Steve, in your playing days, you always struck that balance, I always thought, between calling your own number and creating for teammates. That's a real gift.
It is, and I think the value of playing winning basketball, Kevin, is whatever play dictates making your teammates better or making the winning play. I think a lot of guys right now get caught up in stats. Whatever's the play to help your team win, that's the play that needs to be made.
Yeah, well said. Shot clock at 5. Here's Johnson. Again, the Jazz score.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
Miller kicks to Davis. Over Gobert. And Davis with the basket on the assist from Miller. And that's now 28 points for Anthony Davis. Jazz trail by 16. Burks dishes to Gobert, kicks to Burks, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
I think it very well could be. That might be the game-changing play that helps push them over the top.
1:10 left here in the first quarter. Passes to Gobert. Johnson right side. Misses the three.
Not a big threat from out there. You see why the defense backed off a little.
And it's New Orleans scoring again.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Here's Gobert. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Here's Cunningham. And Cunningham with the slam.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now, here's Burks, Gobert, and Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
And Utah has possession. Following the score by New Orleans, it's stolen by Davis. And New Orleans pushing it up now.
Oh! Wow! I can't believe that one.
That was incredible.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, this lead has snowballed. Credit their killer instinct for piling on.
And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. And so it's Utah here with the ball. Johnson for three. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And so it's New Orleans, finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. And Joe Johnson, very encouraged by this team's strong play of late.
Well, I think the approach is a lot different. Coming to every game now, it's like, okay, this is a game that we're going to win. Obviously, we can't win them all, but to go into a game confident, knowing that you should win is a lot better than going in hoping you're going to win. So it's different.
Joe Johnson has obviously been on both sides of that equation, and there's no doubt he is a much happier guy now that he expects to win.
No better feeling than every time you take the court, if you do X, Y, Z, you have a chance to win. And Joe Johnson has seen them all since he joined the league way back when with the Celtics and quickly traded to Phoenix. Now he's on the upside again and mature enough to appreciate it.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a comfortable margin for the Pelicans here, guys.
So far, they've been active scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
The play calling has been perfect, backed up by beautiful execution. They've certainly captured the moment in that first quarter.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. So for New Orleans right now, they've got Anthony Davis, Darius Miller out there with Cunningham. Then it's Holiday, and it's Clark in at the shooting guard position. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. Yes, I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Kevin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those two anchors on the front line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
No good on that one. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
And he sinks the second. A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Hood kicks to Johnson. Johnson the screen. Outside Hood. 6 to shoot. Can they get it? Here's Favors. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
You love the effort of Favors on the glass. He's a scrappy player who comes away with second chance opportunities for his club.
Jazz have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Davis. For the finish, and it's Davis finishing it off.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Utah has gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. To the inside, off the screen, and Johnson with the lay-in good.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And it's slammed in by Davis.
Rondo is out there to distribute the ball. He is a master at finding the open man.
Utah calls timeout. Steve is a player. Do analytics give you a path to say, you know, I should change and lean more toward this, or I should stop doing that because I'm better at this? Does that ever enter a player's mind, you think?
Hey, Kevin, I think guys should look at these numbers. When you're saying from this spot you're shooting 20%, stop shooting from that spot. If from this shot you're shooting 80%, you might want to get to that spot. So, and I think in those cases, yes, analytics work. And when you're shooting a 3 and you're shooting about 30%, you need to step in.
Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
The man has been relentless scoring inside, attacking the rim every chance he gets. Their defense has been powerless to stop him. We'll see what adjustments they make coming out of this timeout.
Mirotic is checked in for the Pelicans. Etuan Moore comes in for Ian Clark. Mitchell, he's checked in for the Jazz. Rubio against Rondo. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last.
And a moment now to look at the numbers for Ricky Rubio. Averaging 12 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And the numbers, they back it up. Whether he can sustain this level of production, we don't know. But the arrow's pointing upward right now.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Offensive rebound. Here's Ingles. Second chance shot.
And tonight, he just hasn't been efficient offensively. That's a big reason why they're behind.
And a slam dunk by Favors.
He's a big body. Derek Favors able to weather the contact and guide it home.
Davis. And it's Davis with the jam.
He's really taken a hold of this first half and made it his. He is making all the right decisions out there.
Utah has gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. Rubio, the pass to Favors. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
You know, Derek Favors has played alongside a lot of different type of centers. That's why he's worked so hard to add a jump shot so it's not all clogged up in the middle.
One shot, find the lanes.
And that one falls for Favors. And Steve, when you look at Favors, if you had to pick, do you play him at power forward or do you play him at the 5? You play him at the center?
I think in the old days you play him at the power forward position, but I think nowadays he's maybe a shade better at the center spot. It's close. You could argue either way.
It's stolen by Rondo. And now here's Rondo, the fast break opportunity. That one good for 2. Davis has got 42 in the game.
And he runs the floor with a purpose that time. Excellent play.
You know what? And a late reaction by the transition D takes it himself uncontested.
Now here's Johnson. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Goes up, and it's slammed in by Davis.
And we talk about this a lot. Turnovers leading to transition points.
I love the anticipation right there for the pick. Then he wastes no time getting up court.
Here's Johnson. The Pelicans make their last shot. And the pass to Mitchell. The feed to Favors. They get a hand on it. Down low. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Gobert.
And everything he's touched has turned to gold. If you are on defense, you have to make sure all 5 players know exactly where he is at all times, because if he gets a sliver of a look, he'll get it done.
Ingles with the ball. Cunningham's there. They get it back. Well, for New Orleans, shooting the lights out in this one, 77%. Here's Davis. Here's Rondo. And the rejection by Favors.
What perfect timing on that play. Derek Favors, an outstanding shot blocker.
Tipped away. One-on-one here. And Davis wide open. He shoots. And it comes off the front of the rim. Utah's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And now it's Davis running. He can go all the way. And Davis throws it down.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
And New Orleans pushing it up now. And it's slammed in by Davis.
The execution on point. Just terrific timing on these passes.
You know what? Controlling the pace, being patient, great vision. We're seeing it all tonight.
Here's Mitchell. And up the floor again for New Orleans, running the court. Here's Rondo. Misses the 3. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
And it's Davis missing. The Jazz shooting 38% in the second quarter. Offensively, they look a little bit confused. It's stolen by Davis. A finish, and it's Davis with the jam.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
The reason why a number of guys on this roster, they are built for speed. Why not play to your strengths?
And the Jazz with possession here, following the score by New Orleans. Rondo on the double team. It's stolen by Davis. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Rondo is a pro in transition. He can flat out get it done.
Now here's Johnson. That's tipped. Rondo with the steal. And now here's Rondo, the fast break opportunity. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
That's 10 straight points now, all on fast breaks. They are running wild out here.
They double-team Johnson. Here's Mitchell. Shot from 16. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Davis has got rebound number 5 here tonight. And the Jazz last season making the playoffs for the first time, Steve, in 5 years.
You know, ownership showing the patience to build this team back to contention. The front office, part of the San Antonio Spurs tree, drafting well and developing their young players.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis. Hey, Steve, we're here at the midway point of the season. You hear a lot about the rookie wall. Talk about why that is such an issue for these first-year guys.
It's not a myth. I mean, you haven't played this amount of games. And I think more importantly, people don't understand, you haven't played against this type of talent in practice. So practice is wearing you down. And then you get a chance to go up against the best of the best for 82 games. You play about 30 in college. Yes, that rookie wall starts to hit you around January.
Now, here's Rubio. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
I mean, defensively, you have to close out harder than that.
Here's Cunningham. Here's Davis. That one misses. Great D that time from Favors. Here's Mitchell. And Mirotic sends it back. And pushing it up, here's New Orleans over Jerebko. And it's Etuan Moore with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, a little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
A real easy call. I know you want to attack the glass, generate second chance opportunities, but you also have to pick your spots.
New Orleans making a switch here. Holiday's checked in, and Utah with a change here too. Burks, he's checked in for Joe Ingles. Mirotic gets the bucket. Mirotic has got 6 points.
Running in the open floor for Mirotic, determined to get an easy shot in transition.
Mirotic brings the double team, feeds to Jerebko. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Solid rebound there, and with a score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy. Mitchell dishes to Rubio. Favors with the screen. Mirotic brings the double team, and New Orleans pushing it up now. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance. And there it is again. They get careless with the basketball, and immediately it costs them.
This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game.
Yeah, he's at 81% from the line, and when we've had a chance to see him, he's had great form and continues to look confident.
Clark, he's checked in for New Orleans. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Utah. Rodney Hood comes in for Mitchell. And that one falls for Mirotic. Now Rubio. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And Gobert with the basket on the assist by Rubio. Rubio's got 6 assists here tonight.
And they'll take it. Gobert making his presence felt on the scoreboard.
Holiday gets the bucket. Utah has gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Gobert, the screen. To the paint. Deflects the pass. And here is Mirotic. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
And he really made an impact defensively. His 4 steals were huge.
And Rubio kicks to Jerebko. Hood, the pass to Jerebko. His those three-pointers off the mark.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. You look at the Pelicans. They're down at the 7th position right now. A decent start to the season, but they're looking to make a move. And, of course, Utah, a few slots below them.
Right now for the Jazz, they've just lacked that one extra piece that could put them over the top this season. They haven't been able to kind of set themselves apart.
What they've done, they've kept themselves in the playoff picture, though. They haven't been spectacular, but they're still in the race. And we all know anything can happen in the postseason.
For New Orleans, they have shot 9 of 11 at the free throw line.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
That free throw good from Drew Holiday. And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
All free throws good from Drew Holiday. Here's Rubio looking for his first basket still in this one. Pass to Gobert. Hood kicks to Gobert. Nice ball movement by Utah. And the basket by Rubio.
High percentage look inside. Rubio always looking to maximize the value of the possession.
Holiday gets the bucket.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Rubio kicks to Jerebko. Burks dishes to Jerebko. Ricky Rubio again. Rubio's got his second basket of the game.
Great eye contact. Guys working in tandem in the paint. You look at that lead pass there. He just has such a great feel for the game.
Utah's gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. He kicks it to Jerebko. To the inside. Here's Gobert. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Mirotic has got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Cunningham. That one off the back iron and out. Jazz shooting 43% from the floor. Rubio the pass to Jerebko. Burks in the corner.
Rubio.
Hood setting the pick for Burks. Jerebko can't get it to go. There's the dish to Cunningham. And Cunningham with the slam.
Oh, why, dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. Oh, and here comes Holiday all alone. Lays it in off the breakaway. Holiday's got 11.
And the best part of that sequence wasn't Holiday's steal, but his quick decision to push the ball and start the break. That's when the D's most vulnerable, and he took advantage.
Doesn't go for him. Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for New Orleans. He's playing defense with a huge chip on his shoulder. Blocks, steals, you name it. He's all over the place. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, what concerns you most about the first half?
Well, I think the tempo is in their favor right now. They're fast, and they're getting up and down the floor. So they're running out in transition.
Got to beat him to the punch. Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. It was a big-time first quarter from Anthony Davis. He went on an historic scoring frenzy, tallying a ridiculous number of points, 3 block shots, and 7 rebounds. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
Can't say enough about Anthony Davis so far. We knew coming into the league he would be a great defender, but the advancement on offense, incredible. Also a perennial double-digit rebounder. Amazing that he's just now reaching the prime of his career.
And Shaq, how do you think the Jazz were playing?
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster, Ernie. Without major improvements defensively, this game is OVA. Over.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Welcome back to New Orleans, everyone. Glad to have you with us tonight as we take a peek at all the happenings just outside of Bourbon Street. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Anthony Davis in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
He's been one of, if not the hardest worker over the first 2 quarters. His tenacity has been the difference.
The Pelicans shooting a magnificent 69% in this game. Checking out the group for Quinn Snyder to start the second half. The tough defending Favors and Gobert make up the big men. Mitchell is out there with Ricky Rubio, and it's Ingles in at the 3. And Gobert kicks to Favors, and a slam dunk by Favors.
Watch out, when Favors gets loose around the rim, he can pound it.
And that one is good. Mirotic has got 13.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
It's stolen by Davis. Let's check out the leaders in field goal percentage as a team. Second, the Pelicans.
So patient on the offensive end. I mean, they're not going to force shots, and it's that selectiveness that's yielded such an impressive field goal percentage.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Started.
The Jazz play just about the slowest pace in the league. Not many fast break points. They look to grind it out in the half court.
And here's a look at some numbers for Rondo. How's the last month of basketball been for him? He's around 6 points per game, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
You need guys who understand their roles, carry them out without complaint. Everything he does is for the team.
And the first one at the line is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And for the Jazz, they're shooting the ball at 42%. Rubio against Rondo. Here's Favors. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got his 7th assist in the game.
You have to respect Favors. His jumper is lights out.
And it's Davis missing.
Whoo, you know that's one he liked to have back. Point blank range, and he missed it.
And Rubio kicks to Gobert. The Jazz working the ball around now. And Mirotic sends it back. And it's out of bounds to the Jazz as Utah retains possession. There's the pick. Just 3 to shoot. And here's Ingles outside. And he's good on the 3 ball. Ingles has got his first 3 points of the game.
A solid beginning to this second half offensively. 3 for 4 from the floor. You know, coming out of the half, you want to set the tone for the rest of the game. But going 1 for 4 is the wrong way to do it.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement. And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
And Rubio kicks to Ingles. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
You know he would like to have that one back. A clear look from the mid-range.
More. Not enough on that one as it misses. The Jazz have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Rubio dishes to Favors. It's off his leg, and the official saying it was kicked. Rubio against Rondo to the left side wing. Dishes it to Ingles. Just 4 to shoot. Off target from 3-point range. For New Orleans, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. And it's Davis with the jam.
He is single-handedly carrying this team right now thanks to his terrific scoring performance so far in this game.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And Rubio kicks to Ingles. Mirotic against Favors. Shoots over Mirotic. Another miss by Utah.
I love the anticipation defensively there to get into the perfect spot. And you can sense that Rondo taking some pride in shredding the D with his passing. Has exceptional vision.
Utah's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Rubio the pass to Ingles. Gobert dishes to Favors. Shoots over Mirotic. Again, Favors missing. And the Pelicans shooting it well here in the third, about 50%. Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with him.
We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
For the finish, and Davis throws it down.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
That's what's extending this lead. The right plays, right time, and good finishing.
Rondo on the double team. It's stolen by Davis. Jumps up, and Davis throws it down.
Quick hands on the steal, and then just mad hop drops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and offensively.
Terrific defensive instincts to come away with that one, and he showed no hesitation in how he completed that transition opportunity.
Here's Rubio, following the score by New Orleans. Gobert with a screen on Holiday. Gobert the screen, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
And let's take a look now. Anthony Davis's numbers. The last 10 or so games, he has been remarkable. First in scoring, fourth in blocks, and he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close. Here's Mitchell. He has 5. Back to Rubio. Just 5 on the clock. Trying to get back on track. Good D by Rondo.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Jazz have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their half so far. And Rubio kicks to Mitchell. Gobert with a screen on Holiday. Favors with the screen. Rubio against Holiday. And the basket by Rubio. Rubio's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Under heavy fire, Rubio keeps his cool, finds a way to score.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
Oh, that's how you drive your point home right there. For Utah, they've gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime, 5 out of 11. Out to the wing. And Favors kicks to Gobert. Good work there as it goes. Gobert's got 21.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game. And when it rains, it pours. Another jump shot tickles the twine.
Jazz have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. And Rubio kicks to Gobert. Gobert the screen. Mitchell passes to Gobert. Here's Favors, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Favors got 17 now.
He's been locked in all quarter, really finding his rhythm.
And Davis throws it down.
He has taken it upon himself to score the ball as much as possible for his team. He's not looking to pass it right now.
Rubio with it. He has 6. It's stolen by Davis. And now, here's Davis, the fast break opportunity. Jumps up, and Davis throws it down hard.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. For Utah, they've gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. And the shot goes down. And it's now 23 points for Rudy Gobert.
Excellent setup. Rubio scopes out the weakness in the defense, then exploits it.
Really like that work there in the paint. He has really established a low post presence.
For Utah, they've gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. Here's the screen. Here's Favors, and fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot 2.
And the thing that really sticks out when you look at Derek Favors, his defensive versatility. You know, he can guard the 4s or the 5s on the inside or out, and to have a player like that, it allows your team to excel.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. And despite Favors' size and strength, he really moves his feet well.
And that's tremendously valuable in today's NBA. The ability to stay in front of smaller men in switches and pick and rolls. He has terrific lateral mobility.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Cunningham, he's checked in for Mirotic. Darius Miller comes in for Ejuan Moore. And Ian Clark subbed in for Drew Holiday. That one is no good.
Well, you know he's the former 3rd overall pick out of Georgia Tech. Favors has made steady improvement, productive at the 4 and the 5 spot.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Mitchell kicks to Favors. Favors with the screen. Pass to Burks. Outside Hood. Rondo on the double team. Shot clock at 6. Here's Johnson. Misses off the left iron.
One could argue that's a good shot, but maybe not the right shooter to take it.
Cunningham. It's good on the putback.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Utah has gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. Mitchell dishes to Johnson. Here's Favors, and he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
It takes a lot of skill to get whacked and still complete the basket. Luckily, Favors is a super talented player who does this regularly.
The Jazz have shot 3 of 6 at the foul line.
One shot.
And that one falls for Favors.
Look at the front court tandem of Rudy Gobert and Derek Favors. Both tremendous players. The question, though, do you get enough spacing with those two inside to win it all?
The Jazz shooting it beautifully here in the third, 56% from the field. Mitchell passes to Favors. Poked away and stolen by Miller. Here's Rondo. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. And that's now 6 points for Rajon Rondo. Utah shooting in this game 45%. Mitchell kicks to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. Another miss by Utah.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And the foul goes against Utah.
Rajon Rondo. 2 shots.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And that one falls for Rondo.
You know, Rondo takes great pleasure at slicing and dicing up the defense. One of the best passers in the game.
The Jazz making a switch here. Jerebko's checked in. So he gets them both.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Got a piece of it. Utah's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. He feeds it to Burks. He dishes it to Hood. No good on the triple.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Chalk up 2 there.
He's been unstoppable here late, trying to shut the door and turn the lights out.
So it's the Jazz now. And following this game, they'll challenge the Grizzlies on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them. Here's Mitchell. 5 points in the game. Another miss by Utah.
And the defense daring him to shoot that. Good plan right there.
And he makes that one.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
The momentum is building, scoring in a bunch of ways. That's why his number keeps getting called.
Johnson, a wide open look. And it's Johnson again missing.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Now, here's Burks. Following the miss by Anthony Davis. Hood drives in. Good.
He scores from everywhere. Inside, outside, in between. Hood can fill it up.
And Davis can't get it to go. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Burks kicks to Johnson. Another miss by Johnson.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor. My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. The Jazz shooting the ball at 42%. Mitchell dishes to Jerebko. And it's off from three-point range. Here's Clark. Trying to get open as Davis. Banked in off the glass. Clark's got 4 points this quarter.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Mitchell kicks to Jerebko. Johnson the screen. Pass to Burks. Inside. And Hood the bucket on the assist by Burks. Burks has got 3 assists in the game.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce. Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Mitchell. He's got 5, and the foul called on Anthony Davis. That's his 3rd foul of the game. There's 14 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of the game. It's stolen by Davis. Cunningham passes to Davis. Off the mark with the outside fadeaway. And at the end of the 3rd quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Pelicans ahead, delivering the blowout. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Hey, let's keep it up, guys. Let's keep running, though. We can get out in the open court and run all we want, all right?
Alvin Gentry satisfied with some of what he's seeing, but would like his guys to pick up the pace.
And there have been some opportunities in transition that they have yet to capitalize on. It may have cost them some points.
And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. We've got Darius Miller. Cunningham is out there with Diallo. And it's Cook in at the 2 spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Well, the NBA has taken great strides to ensure a competitive balance, Steve, over the past decades, but they have a long way to go to achieve complete parity. I don't know that it can ever be done. How do you feel about the current competitive balance of the league right now?
You know, I think it's good, but Kevin, you're totally right. You can't get complete parity. You're going to have injuries, and I think when you have injuries, it changes the whole dynamic of these teams. So far, so good for me. I think it's a lot of balance. Good teams are good for a while, and then it always shifts and changes. I think we're in good hands right now.
Good on the second free throw. Pelican shooting has been brilliant in this game, 67% from the floor. Here's Diallo. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup.
Nice interior passing, and then the strong finish.
The Jazz shooting 43% for the game. Neto kicks to Jerebko. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
And it's Miller penetrating. Here's Diallo. O'Neal with the defensive effort.
And guys, there's a lot to like here defensively. That shot almost ends up in the stands.
And he was not quite in position to block the shot, but the result is all the same.
Diallo no good. Jazz have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. You know, Smitty, as the game grows internationally, we've seen a contrast drawn between the academies, for instance, in Europe and Australia and the youth basketball organizations in this country. Do you think we're doing it the right way? Should there be change, more policing of just how things are run at a very young level?
I think more policing, Kevin. I think also coaches being better equipped to be able to be around young kids. I think also how many games these kids.
That is not possible. What we just is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but possible, like you said. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. There's the pick. Neto kicks to Burks. Back to Neto from outside the arc. Another miss by Utah. For New Orleans, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter.
I love the technique he uses, leveraging his position down low, then just using sheer size to snatch the rebound.
Here's O'Neal. Good D by Miller. And so here is New Orleans. They played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
One shot, behind the lanes.
And that one misses. Well, every so often a team will have a home game and see their stadium flooded with fans for the away team. Happens when a especially good, popular team is playing a team kind of in a bad part of their schedule, or maybe just in a bad part of their development. Smitty, do players notice when this happens, and does it bother them at all?
Yeah, players notice it. It does bother you. It happened to me when in the Chicago Bulls era. You hear people cheering more for Michael Jordan than their own players. It's because people love to see winners. People have their favorite players, and a lot of people right now look at it as they want to come see their favorite player. As a player, you just got to go out, beat Michael Jordan, go out and win, and usually the fans will turn into your favor.
Rebounded by Urebko. Urebko's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
He can't find his mojo. Tough quarter for him scoring the basketball.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
He's a regular at the free throw line. Burks knows how to put the onus on the officials.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Burks.
The former University of Colorado alumni Burks, a solid 2-guard who can really light it up.
And Burks hits 2 free throws. Well, Steve, it's something that everyone has a different opinion on. How do you feel about the current amount of years a player has to play in college before they enter the NBA draft?
Well, Kevin, I look at it this way. I like the notion that people have been throwing around that you're able to come out of high school and go to the NBA. But if you choose to go to college, you must play 2 years. So I'm leaning toward and researching and looking at that. I think I'm on board with that because there are some guys should have the opportunity straight out of high school, and there are some guys I think need college. So I think if they can balance that out, and I think that's the way I would be leaning.
I like that perspective.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
To the left wing. Kicks it to Urebko. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The pass to Burks. Here's Neto. They double him with James. Here's O'Neal. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him.
This is what your spacing is designed to do. Find cracks in the defense.
Good. Diallo's got 10 points here in the second half. Utah's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. That's tipped. Bradley passes to Neto. Burks for 3. It's Cunningham with the rebound. Cunningham's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Diallo, no good. Utah shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Down low. The feed now to Cook. The putback. No good that time. And it's Utah the other way. O'Neal dishes to Urebko. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%. And it's Miller penetrating. Here's Diallo. Utah with the rebound. Bradley's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Neto kicks to Bradley. Feeds it to Burks. Back to Bradley. Pass to Burks. Jazz passing it around. 6 on the shot clock. The 3 ball. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. Cook's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Miller. It's good, and it's his 6th make against 11 attempts.
I like what he's given them tonight. Efficient offense that's helped fuel this lead.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
There's the dish to O'Neal. It's good from long range.
Another triple, and that's been the story of this second half.
Coming out of the break, they've relied on their perimeter offense to generate points. Right now, it's working.
I tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
And to do it in the fourth quarter, you're trying to extend the lead. He's making that happen.
Urebko kicks to Neto. And again, it's the Jazz from deep.
And you can see where they're attacking here in the fourth, strictly from the perimeter.
You know, plenty of teams, they try this strategy. Works when you're hot, but works against you when you're not.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike. And with the business of basketball booming, most players are afforded a pretty lavish lifestyle. There's no doubt in not only the NBA, but in all sports. Certainly a blessing. But, Smitty, are there downsides to all that notoriety, all that money, all that lavishness?
Yeah, it is, Kevin. I think the downside is, one, you can't live that lifestyle if it's lavish for the rest of your life. And I think, second, it takes away. You are a public figure right now. You have to understand that. And that's the downside. Being able to go out with your family, being able to go out to a restaurant, you got to understand, yes, there's going to be fans everywhere, and it takes away from that. So I think that's the 2 things for me is guys got to understand that lifestyle doesn't last. And I think also, personally, it takes away from what you can do out in public.
He kicks it to Bradley. Miller with the double team. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. Some changes for New Orleans. Mirotic comes in for Cunningham. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Darius Miller. And Utah with a change here too. Udo's checked in. Here's James. It's rebounded by Neto. Jazz shooting 43% from the floor. Dishes it to Burks. Jacks up a 3. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got rebound number 8 now on the night. That's the 6th make from the field. He's taken 9 shots and missed but 3.
Great to see Mirotic attacking down low, putting that 6'10 frame to use.
Neto kicks to Jerebko. Well, in the last half-decade or so, the NBA, Steve, has realized the true value of the corner three, and now offenses all over the league are designed to take advantage of it. Part of that is because it's just closer to the rim than any other three-pointer.
Yeah, you're right, and you should. I mean, when you have a three-point arc, yes, the corner threes are going to be shorter, and it's harder from a guy to shoot it from straight on. But when you have a guy that can shoot it straight on, you can see the dynamics of a team defensively. It's hard to cover. But I don't think the NBA should widen the court because of the value of the corner three. That's a part of the game.
Should the lane be widened? Should we talk about the court and making all the threes the same length? What about the lane?
Well, I think you can widen the lane if you change the defensive rules, because right now you're allowed to play zone. If you went back to man-to-man, yes, I think you should widen it. But teams are allowed to play zone. I think the value of keeping it the same helps the defense a little bit more.
4 on the clock. Good on the three-point shot.
This is where we're going in the NBA right now. Stretch bigs.
Here's Mirotic, and Mirotic throws it down.
Tough to slow down Nikola Mirotic. Once he gets going, he can hurt you in a number of ways.
Here's Neto. James covering. Neto kicks to Jerebko. Off target with his three.
I don't know what's happened to him in this second half, but he's been terrible from deep.
It's deflected. Jazz shooting about 40% here in the fourth quarter. Burks in the corner on the wing. Johnson. Jerebko kicks to Neto. The three-pointer is right on target. Neto's got 8 points in the quarter.
And there's where, if you get some room, you kind of have to take that shot to keep the defense honest.
It's fine to extend your defense to try and create turnovers, but guys have to help each other.
That's been a problem for them all game. Teamwork is something you just can't turn on and off.
Udoh gets the bucket.
Delivering these passes in tight quarters, that's tricky.
Lets it go from 14, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron. Jazz shooting 43% from the field. And Jerebko has it in the corner. And Udoh with the stuff.
One of the cases where height fails to tell you the whole story.
Well, for New Orleans, shooting it well here in the fourth quarter, 50%.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for New Orleans.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
And they put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only one left to play.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Davis.
An all-around dominant performance. Only certain guys can do this. Complete control, 3 phases of the game. Congrats, a triple-double.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're ahead. 50 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Anthony Davis.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. Davis is checked in for New Orleans. 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one, and that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Miller, the pass to James. Davis. And off the front iron, and in it goes.
And just staying aggressive, continuing to extend that lead.
They left nothing to chance. This is how you close out.
It's stolen by Davis. And Davis throws it down.
And this is the kind of deficit it would take a miracle to overcome.
I think this hometown crowd agrees with you. They are fired up about it.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. A shot by Udo, no good. From the baseline, another one falls for New Orleans.
As dangerous as he is inside, Davis gives opponents nightmares when he's able to get to the mid-range. He's very reliable when he steps back and takes the jump shot.
Neto kicks to Yarebko. To the middle, layup off the pick. Outside for Davis. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
And he's had an excellent performance overall from the field.
So we see New Orleans taking the W here. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Anthony, tell us the focus for the team coming into the game tonight.
Well, before we started the game, Coach came in and told us that we knew what we had to do. We were trying to stop a lot of their actions, and our biggest focus for the game was guard the ball. That's what we did coming out of that timeout and never looked back.
And it led to a win. Thank you for your time, Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.